This is Steven with 616 Marketing Group, and today I'll be going over a quick demo for editing pages and blogging on West Michigan Therapy Dogs website that we created. First, I'm going to go to the admin dashboard of WordPress. So I got wmtd.org/wp-admin. Add in your username and password, click login. Okay, and now once you're on the page, let's edit a blog post. We're going to be going to posts. And if you're set up as an editor with access, there might be less items on the left-hand side. The home page, we have news and stories. And so in order to have a post publish itself to the home page on the blog section, in the back end, we created like add post. And then add a title. And then I'm just going to hit save draft after putting in a title. And we're going to use the default editor for blog posts, where on pages, we're using the Divi Builder. So a page is going to be, the about page, like a service page, the home page, contact, things like that. For posts, a little bit more simplified, we can just use the default editor. And then we have content blocks. So with this content block, you can add in your paragraph text here. As an example, and then let's add an image. So we can click image from this module, and you can upload from your local computer or select the media library. And the media library is going to have all the existing imagery that has been uploaded to the website. So you can select one here. And as you go on, adding in more images to the site, it would be ideal to add in alternative text or alt text, to the image, and you're just describing the image. Now, one other thing I want to point out is that this image is 3 megabytes, which is fairly large. If at all possible, we do like to get this down to, 100, 150 kilobytes as an example for image, sizing. So what this represents is it's a large image size. It's going to take more time to load on the website. This one's 2 megabytes, so we'd want to go through and re-optimize these images. As an example here, if it's a really important image and there's just a lot of detail in there, 400 kilobytes, that'd probably be maxing out, what we'd want to add into the site. Versus this image here is 63 kilobytes. So that would load a lot faster. There's some things that we can get around with some of our advanced caching that we add into the website and overall image optimizations. So we're going to go to media library and let's just add this file here and alt text. Let's put in therapy dogs meeting. For now, you can put something in particular. I'll leave it blank for now though. Well, now for caption, description, and title, we can, you don't have to fill those ones out. One thing I would say is before you upload an image to the website, I would recommend renaming the image to be descriptive. Instead of img and some numbers at the end, .jpg, you would actually rename that image and think about a little bit of your keywords, what you're trying to, attract as far as phrases online. And so that'd be, West Michigan Therapy Dogs, and then there's, other keywords there that we'd be able to recommend, together. So you'd have your keyword or phrase in there with, a dash West Michigan Therapy Dogs as the organization to kind of brand that, and then dash maybe like Grand Rapids, in there, even though West Michigan is in the name, just to be able to have a keyword, the organization name, and the location or servicing area. And then at the tail end, having maybe a little bit of a short description on there. So you might have a pretty detailed file name, but then you can copy paste that or very minor tweak that and have that as the alt text or alternative text. So what alt text is for either visually impaired or screen readers, anything that uses that alternative text, then you're going to be able to have that accessibility qualification for your website on there. In addition, that is helpful also for search engines to be able to read that alternative text versus having to actually see that image itself, even though we've come pretty far on being able to have AI and bots see what's actually in an image these days. So I'm gonna hit select, and there's the image there. Clicking on this, I'm just gonna hit enter. Now I have another block and second title here as an example, then some more paragraph text. So going up here, clicking on the second title, instead of a paragraph, we can have it as a heading. And now that heading is an H2. So up at the top, by default, this is an H1. So there's a little hierarchy here of a heading 1 tag. Then an H2 as a separate section, and then you could nest a couple H3s under an H2. It helps with the hierarchy of writing your content. It helps Google understand what sections overall for the page and what sections are important. And visually also, it kind of annotates a little bit of a heading style, there. At the end of your blog posts, you could have like a call to action, hey, get in touch. And let's say, link here, title. Well, this title here, double click on that or highlight, add a link. And I'm just going to type in contact, and here's our contact page, or request a visit would go there. I'm going to go ahead and save draft. Now, when you save a draft, you can exit out once it's actually with the check mark of saving being completed. And then from there, you can always go back into the website after you've left, or have another user be able to proofread or approve whatever your internal process is there. And then when you're ready, you can actually schedule the post. I'm going to schedule it just for an instant so you can see what that looks like, and then I'll remove it. But one thing before you do, here's some quick checks. You have a title, you have your content, and then we go to post. And on your post, you want to be able to select a category. So we're going to do, and we'll have this cleaned up for you, but we're going to have news and stories be featured on the homepage. And then from there, we also want to set a featured image. A featured image is going to be the image that is displayed before you click into the actual post itself. So this would be the featured image. And sometimes that can be enough for your post. If you have a long amount of content, then it would be nice after every couple paragraphs, 2 or 3 paragraphs, to have another image. So a featured image, and we would want that to be separate from the image that we've already manually added in there. And this is a nice aspect ratio, a rectangle there, like a 9:16 ratio or something like that, that is wider. That often looks, pretty good. Set featured image. And save draft. Now let's preview this before we actually publish it. Preview in a new tab. I'm going to do the desktop version. Okay, example title blog post. Here's the author, which you can change the author. You can even change the date to backdate or post it in the future to schedule it. Example paragraph, and then the image that we added into there. Now, let's actually publish that. We're going to go ahead and hit schedule. Visibility is public. We're going to publish immediately instead of scheduling it out. You don't have to add, tags. You can, that can be different ways to like navigate it, and tag different images based on almost like subcategories or certain keywords as an example. And then the Yoast SEO, we're going to go down and you want to put a focus key phrase here. This is going to be for search engine optimization. This could be therapy dogs as an example, or you could get related key phrases there. I think that's with a pro version from our account. If you're interested, that's something that we could add in together, but for right now, we're just going to put in therapy dogs. And we have a frown face. So generally what you're going to be able to do and improve posts with Yoast SEO, readability analysis, SEO analysis. We're probably going to want to be able to put this in the title. Oh, this is also the premium version here, but we do have some indications here of like, we're going to want to put therapy dogs in the title. Maybe second title, something here. You're going to be talking about it in here, blah, blah, blah. And you can see that, okay, we're not unhappy, we're just mediocre now. And image key phrase, images don't have alt tags or the alt attributes that reflect the topic of your text. So you'd be able to like optimize that with the title, the actual image file name, and the alt text of that image to have that key phrase in there would be ideal. The other thing is we need a minimum of 300 words. I always say 400 to 500 words minimum would be ideal. If it is under this 300, sometimes even 400 words, then it's going to get a kind of almost like a penalty with Google, like a thin content penalty. It's not going to be optimized enough. It's going to look like you're kind of keyword stuffing, where you have not enough context for like your ratio of your key phrase that you want to optimize for versus like the rest of the whole article. So you want to say like, here are West Michigan therapy dogs, our therapy dogs are the best therapy dogs for those looking for therapy dogs. That sounds psychotic. It doesn't flow well. So we want like a natural tonality and language, and just a natural amount of placement of that keyword. So outbound links, this would be if you are referring to a resource or any sort of reference online, you want to be able to link directly to that and have it where they're opening it in a new link. And so when you're linking to something, _advanced there, if it's just to another page on your website, just have the link in there. But it's going outside of your website, you're going to want to take advantage of this check mark here to open in a new tab. So your existing website stays open in their browser, and then they click the link, it'll open into a new tab it'll open in a new tab to go offsite. This is a little bit more advanced here. No follow, sponsored links. You're not really selling like advertising or anything like that on the website. So you don't have to necessarily get into that there. So I'm going to cancel that for now, but otherwise you would hit save. So the other item with the Yoast SEO plugin, specifically on WordPress here, is the title tag and meta description. So again, we're on the example blog post. Scrolling down, you'll see Yoast SEO. And so this is how it's going to appear in the search index. So right now we have some variables of the title page, a little dash separator, and the site title. So you can leave the site title there. The separator right now is a little dash. Site wide, you can change that. I like to have like a little pipe there, and instead it kind of is less default, looking. I think it stands out a little bit more. But the title and the page. So I'm gonna clear those out just for the sake of, if you had a non-example looking title, like 7 things to know about therapy dogs, something like that, a little catchy. What's that 7 number, little minor clickbait there. So 7 things to know about therapy dogs, West Michigan therapy dogs, as far as the brand. And then Grand Rapids could be, it doesn't necessarily fit. So I think West Michigan therapy dogs is fine there. So that would be the title. Then the meta description is actually taken generally from the first bit of content here, but you can also customize it, like, the important, blah, 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 blah. Go down, and there's almost, only so much text you can add in there before it starts to cut off. And you can look at the mobile result versus the desktop, result, and just kind of take note of where things are getting cut off at. And you really want to be able to optimize that. So you can also use AI as a premium, version there, to be able to kind of add in a little bit of description, and it can optimize that description a little bit, further for you. So in the meta description and in the title, you're going to want your focus key phrase. Therapy dogs, something, 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 therapy dogs. Might not be enough yet to turn this into a green smiley face, but at least you're getting towards further optimization. Some premium features here: track SEO performance. This is something separate than the products that we have. Cornerstone content, Marcus Cornerstone. That's going to be like, this is the most important and extensive, articles on the site. It's just an indication to Google of the importance of that content. Under advanced, yes, we want search engines to index this page and follow links on this content. So you can, leave this untouched and have it be default, and just another premium feature with insights on this particular article, which should be able to get that from Google Analytics for more information and data insights. Now, readability here, I don't think this feature is really working too well, because we have some mumbled, words there. But as far as basic SEO for the page, this is really good, check mark, on there, to be able to improve your post with Yoast SEO. Scroll down and look at some of these suggestions. You can also add some related words too, so you don't have to be constantly putting in that one featured key phrase. Under schema, default for posts, it's the type of page. You would leave that as is for now. Otherwise, there's like FAQs and a profile page, or about page, something that's separate. Under social, this is a featured, premium feature. However, that's just the preview. You can go down here and put in a specific image if it's separate, if you would like it for your social media image, and if there is a separate social media title and description, and a Twitter or X appearance is featured. That I don't think is something that you have to do here. Once you have this post completed, my recommendation is to distribute that content out to your social media profiles. So with that, once you hit publish, you're gonna have a link to that page. So we're gonna save this draft. Okay, it's all good. Now we're going to publish that. Here's the visibility. I'm gonna hit publish. Okay, here's the post address. I'm gonna copy this, and paste that, and then publish to commit any changes that you've made on the page and have that actually be published, or at least, save the draft until it's, approved in your process of when you determine you should be able to publish something. So we want the key phrase in the introduction of the, up here. And slowly it'll start to get better. I'm not sure why readability is green. I mean, this is kind of some crazy verbiage here, but yep, you would just want to be able to follow these recommendations. So once we're good to go, I'm just going to schedule it for a split second here. And then I'm going to go into the home page. And we will see Therapy Dogs, example title, blog post right here. And then going into the post itself, what that looks like. Okay. Now I'm going to go up top here. As long as you're logged in, you can edit post from up top. And let's say we publish something a little prematurely. You do not have to delete the post. You could simply go to status under published, and we're going to put that back to a draft. Now, here's some status and visibility options. You have draft when you're not ready to publish something, pending when you're waiting, to review something in your process of publishing. Private is only going to be available for site administrators and editors, and then scheduled, something that will publish, but in the future, and then published, hey, it's already out there and visible to everyone. You could make it visible to everyone and then password protect it. Like if you wanted someone to take a look at it, they don't have admin or editor account on your website, but you do want that published and available for someone to access, but you do want that password protected so it's not available to everyone out in the wild. You would then be able to provide like a password in here and then hit save. But for right now, we're just gonna mark that back as a draft. And then we're gonna actually go to the website itself here. In the back end and just see the author. We can quick edit, or we can, edit to go back into the post. But under quick edit, you can change the author here and just have that as West Michigan Therapy Dogs editor, or any particular name here. Gonna go ahead and hit update. Now if you wanted to make more categories, I could say beyond, like in the news, beyond news and stories, and since we're not using in the news, I'm just gonna remove that one real quick. But you could have subcategories or other categories that you create here. And then hit add category. And then that would be available here. So when you tag something, if you wanted to go to the home page, it would be under news and stories. Now, later on, if you have a lot of categories and everything, then you could have it where, all right, now it's going to go to an overall like blog page. You could have a certain page that's for volunteer like sign up, or visits or anything like that. Request a visit posts could be on the request a visit page, somewhere on there for like fresh content signals. But for right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this. And that is everything for editing posts. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at support at 616mg.com as in marketing group. Again, that's support at 616mg.com. They'll create a support ticket that our team can track and be able to help you out quickly there. Typically, our response time is within 1 business day outside of holidays. And what we try to strive for is at least, within a few hours or less, we can, someone can connect back with you and, confirm your request and get that scheduled to take care of. So if you have any blog posts, feel free to give us a couple initial ones. We'll be happy to help, preload some more of those for you. Otherwise, we do want to empower you to really take ownership over the website and really, use that at the best of your ability. One, it's going to create fresh content, which is great signals for search engines, and two, for your users. It's all about your target audience, keeping them engaged, keeping them informed about your brand, and really that's all brand building there. It's really great to have this foundation of the website to help you grow as you can, grow with it as it helps you grow. And we're really thankful and excited that you've taken this journey with us. And really, this is the foundation, your platform to really help you guys get to the next level. So the next part of this, I'll be going over editing pages in WordPress, specifically with the Divi page builder. In the URL bar here for Chrome. And this is actually where I would put that into, let's go to business.facebook.com a moment. Okay, create post. New blog post. I want to give some context, like, hey, the 7 things you need to know. 7 things to know about therapy dogs. Could probably enhance that a bit. Give a little space, and then let's paste that blog post URL. And then just short description, some sort of call to action, whether that's just let us know your comments or ask a question, try to get some engagement there. But automatically that pulled in the featured image for that post. You can tag individuals. If there's a location that you're featuring, you can check in at that location. You can invite someone to collaborate, like on that post further. But it's that tagging people that would get in front of their audience as well. If there's a separate photo or video to add to that, hey, great. But otherwise, keep it the post image itself. And you can schedule that in the future. There's some more scheduling options in the Meta Business Suite, or you can just hit next, go from there. So out for now. And that's just a little bit more information on, okay, I have the blog post. Now, how do I get the most out of the visibility and distribute that content accordingly? The other option, in addition to social media, is going to be some of your email newsletters. So you can take one or more, or any featured post, and be able to have that on your HubSpot email newsletters or Constant Contact that you might be using currently, before switching over to HubSpot is a possibility. And just having one source of truth of all your information, no double data entry, duplicate content, and just having a nice unified system to have all of your communications and content go out to your audience. Again, I'm Steven with 616 Marketing Group here in Rockford, Michigan, and thank you so much for entrusting us with helping with your website, putting that all together again as a foundation that you have for growth. If you have any questions, please reach out to us by emailing support at 616mg as in marketinggroup.com, or you can visit on our website here. So if you went to 616mg.com as in marketing group, up in the header, click support ticket, and then you're on the help and support page. Fill out your contact information, little description. If you're having any sort of error or issue, you can attach a screenshot, would be very helpful, and the URL of that particular page. Some important points to review. So kind of click on that. Ideally, what we do is we do prioritize, like, feel free to always give us a call at 616-965-6972, option 2 for support. But we do prioritize it. It kind of makes us more efficient. We're able to go quicker with support, be more responsive. If there's a support ticket that is already made, feel free to call in after making the support ticket to flag us down. Otherwise, our team is pretty good about within an hour or two or less to get that first response and begin putting that into our schedule or working on that request immediately. So you definitely take advantage of this. This feature is available to all of our clients that are on our web plan, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you grow as this platform helps you grow. And yeah, if you have any questions, please reach out, and we look forward to hearing from you.